Hi everyone, welcome back to our new video of this backend series. In this video, we will learn how can we modify our Hello World application which we have written in the previous video to a better approach, and we will see how we can push this code to the production level. So this is going to be a bit longer video, but I will try to keep it simple and very easy for you. So the service which we are going to use to deploy our application on the web so that it's accessible for everyone is render.com. It's free up to now, but I don't know how long it will remain free. So fingers crossed. So let's see how we can modify our Hello World app to a modern approach of coding. So let's go to our code editor. So this was the Express.js app which we have written previously, which was sending some hello Siddharth or hello world, anything. But this is a bit old way of writing the server code. Now in the modern era we write, or we like the approach of writing import express like that. For doing that, you have to come to package.json and make some changes. Now after coming to package.json, you have to write over here or increase, write type, and inside type you have to mention module, because we want to use the module.js, because which is a newer approach and much more production way approach of importing the modules in your application. So once you write module over here, you cannot write require express. So in that case, we have to write import express from express. Now once you do this is a far better approach of importing express, right? So once you run this again, you will get the same approach, same output. And if you have to write node index.js, okay, so I can see my server is again running on port 3000. I will do a quick refresh on port 3000 and let's see what output I'm getting. I'm getting the output. That means our import of express has been successful, right? Now this node index.js is not actually the perfect way of starting your express service or backend service. In production we write npm start. So this has to start your application automatically, this code. But when you do npm start now, we will see that we get a lot of error because we are missing the script start. So we have to define the start script. So where should we define our start script? Let's go back to package.json, and inside the scripts section we have to mention the start script. So just press an enter and write over here start script, and write over here node index.js, which is the thing which we were writing up to now in the terminal. So once you have written the start script, our things are now perfect to be pushed for production. So let's see in our terminal if we can start by saying npm cd hello world npm start. Okay, so once you do this, we get that the server is running on port 3000. Okay, this is a successful and a good way of starting. Now the next thing which is very important, and that's the motive of this video, is to push this Hello World app to any cloud hosting service so that it's available everywhere for the internet. So for doing this, we will take a look at a free service called render.com. Let's go to our browser and let's open render.com. So it says that fastest way to production, just sign in. Okay, choose your service provider. I will choose GitHub for the time being. Now this requires your backend project to be available in GitHub. So for that I have to push my backend project to my GitHub. So for doing that, let's open my GitHub and I will push the code to my GitHub account. Go to repositories, create new repository and make hello world. Okay, so let's give a simple description, sample hello world app for checking for production learning. Okay, be free to give some fictitious name. Remember to keep this as public, otherwise render.com will not be able to access this page. Okay, now the next thing which you have to do is nothing, just create the repository. Now we have to push our code from our local code base to GitHub. So for doing this, you need to have Git installed in your system. I have uploaded a video previously of how to configure Git in your system. I recommend you to watch that video before coming to this. So let's do the things which are necessary for pushing this code to production. So the first thing, open up our terminal in VS Code only. In a new tab, cd to the hello world app, then do a quick ls. We can see our files are present over here. Just do a simple git init. So this will initialize this hello world project as a git repository. Fine. Now the next thing which you have to do is git add. So with this, Git will now track all the changes to my file in the local code base. Okay. Now once that is done, we have to commit the code which is written in my local code base into the GitHub with some message so that it's easier for us to mark this as a checkpoint. So let's write it as initial commit. So these are concepts from GitHub. I hope you are finding it similar. Okay. So once that is done, our committing is done. So you can do a quick git status to check whether anything is there to be committed. So it is saying that nothing to be committed. That's fine. Now let's go to GitHub. Let's copy this line. Just paste this in VS Code and press enter. Next, follow this next command, Ctrl C and press enter. Paste it. Then git push -u origin/main. Again paste this and press enter. So this will take some time depending upon your internet speed. This will push the entire code from your local code base to GitHub. So once that is done, do a quick refresh in this page and you will get to see your application over here. So this is the code which we have written, and we will push this to render.com so that it's available everywhere in the cloud. So in the render.com, just come here and click on new, click on web service, and it has to search your GitHub if you log in with your GitHub. So this is the hello world app which we want to deploy. So click on that, click on connect. So it will take some time. So it is asking us for some unique name. It automatically detects the language, which is Node.js. So it is saying us the root directory. We don't have a root directory, which is the parent directory as a root directory. What is a build command? So build command is the command which will build the application in the production level. So the build command is npm install in every case. In case you have any other build command, you have to define it in your package.json. But since we have installed express.js using npm install express.js or like that, so we can simply write npm install, and the express.js and the other dependency information will come from the package.json itself. Because if we go to the package.json, we see that already the dependencies are mentioned over here. So once you write npm install, all the dependencies will be installed one by one sequentially. That's it. And furthermore settings we have to do. Okay, the npm install. After that, the start command is node index.js. So we changed it to npm start. Yeah, so we just changed the start command to npm start. Okay, so we will proceed with a free tier for the time being. Okay, and if you need to scale up the system, you may take a payment basis service, but that's not important. Okay, so we do not have any environment variable, but for our case, we are defining the port number explicitly to be 3000. If it is available, good. Otherwise, the system will provide a port number. Okay. So with that as done, we will deploy our web service, and it is saying that please use a relative path. So it will be /. Okay. So let's deploy it. So it will take some time for taking up our code from the GitHub, and it will deploy it on its own, and it will give us some URL with which we can access that. So let's see the logs which are happening. So it is checking out the commit from this branch main, and it will take some time, mainly 2 to 3 minutes. So it is saying that uploading build. Let's wait for some time being for it to upload. So it is saying that build is successful on its system and it is deploying our application. So once it is deployed, we will get an URL for accessing the page of Hello Siddharth for my case and your name for your case. So once it is deploying, we will just wait for couple of minutes. So it is saying that using Node.js is okay. So see here, the Node version is different from the version we are using. We are using 22 and it's using 20. So that's not going to cause any issue because 20 and 22 are more or less similar. But make sure you do not install a Node version which is very, very old. That may end up some issues. Okay. So it is saying that your service is live, running npm start. Server is running on port 3000. So in my case, the 3000 port was free for this machine, but it does not always mean that. So I'm waiting to get the URL. So I hope this is the URL. So let's open it up and we can see Hello Siddharth is getting displayed on the screen. So let us check the about us, about us route. So if you do that, we are getting the about us page, which is this is the about us page. Remember, this is not the local host. This is the Hello World application which we deployed just now on the render.com. So that's all how you deploy your backend project to production level on a server. Yes, that's the thing. That's the complex thing which everyone complicates about. This was not at all complex. You have to follow the steps very patiently and very peacefully. Then only you can understand how the thing is deployed. This is not at all complicated. I repeat, this is not at all complicated. Yes, we will understand how we can deploy it in our AWS in the end of this series. But in this way, you deploy your code to production. Yes, there are modifications which are yet to be done to make it production ready. But I have taken this approach so that you do not complain that working in production is difficult, right? So in this video, we have focused our learning on deploying our Hello World application on the render.com to see how our service goes live on the web and everyone can access it. So if you are able to deploy your server code on render.com and successfully get the Hello World message on the screen, then congratulations, a big congratulations. This is a very big start and I appreciate your patience and learning. And with this, I guarantee that you will one day successfully become a backend developer. So that's all in this video. I will see you in the next video where we will understand about how we can set up our system for production grade backend systems. So that's all in this video. I will see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep exploring.